B. That's good. That's good. That's gonna get her a seat. Yeah, okay.
All right, glad to see you all still here. We're gonna try to get through this quickly so that way it's not gonna take up too much more of our night. We are on item number 3, residents wishing to speak. Do we have anybody signed up?
There's nobody signed up.
Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll go with board comments. First ward.
Okay, sorry about that wording. Okay, I'll make this quick. I just want to start out by thanking everyone in the community to serve as your first ward counselor. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Again, I just want to assure everybody that I'm dedicated to serving the town of Salina. Again, making sure that we're transparent and visible, bringing in different perspectives, while also working to achieve shared goals, and then just making sure that we're financially responsible. And I'm just ready to begin the work. Thank you.
Thank you. Second ward.
I'm pretty much relaying what Haley said. Thank you for allowing me to be second ward. I have started planning for second ward town meetings, or not town meetings, second ward meetings within our ward. And I'm hoping that the first one will be in April, the time and date to be determined. And I'm looking into neighborhood watches Nick gave me the name of somebody to get in contact with, but I'm also working with the Facebook groups to see who has existing ones and that are active versus inactive and how we can accommodate them on that. And I'm just reading through my notes because I knew I would be. Oh, I did have one more thing. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to. I just wanted to say that my votes are based on transparency, evidence-based decision-making, and that's where I'm coming from when I make my decisions. And
Thank you. Third ward.
I do not have any comments. Yeah.
All right. Fourth ward. All right, I'll make mine. I'll try to make mine relatively brief. One, I just do want to thank the 2 counselors to my right. Welcome to the town board. This is our first official work meeting, and I'm excited about a lot of things that we are going to be working on. There are things on this agenda today that are, I think, extremely exciting for the community, and I'm happy that you guys are being part of that. For the public, as I had said, I originally did not feel it was necessary for us to go into executive session, and I still feel strongly about that. I will give you a brief synopsis for that, and also I think the board here is appreciative of me giving that breakdown. Unfortunately, we had a former employee that worked here, and in the 2 years of employment, there were discovered multiple mistakes or wrongdoings that we felt did not warrant her reappointment. Specifically, we were able to uncover certain emails that were not work-related or otherwise. So because of these discoveries, we felt it was in the best interest for the town and the taxpayers within the town to not have her be reappointed to the town. Is there anything else? Would you guys like me to go about anything else? Is there anything I'm missing?
No, it's one of those things where some of us, obviously we are not there for the day-to-day stuff. There was some stuff that came up that could potentially put the town at different, risks and liabilities, and could end up, costing taxpayers dollars and all different kinds of things. So just some of the stuff that came up can't be overlooked, and unfortunately, that's why we can't reappoint somebody for various situations that came up.
Nick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's hard to hear. It doesn't seem the microphones are
The
really
microphones are on, so we apologize if it is difficult to hear. So,
Speaking of
okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Because of that is going to end my town board comments. I will just, for the public's record, I do apologize. I worked this morning, I had surgery in the middle of the day, and I was put under, and now I'm back here at work. So if I'm a little slower or redundant, it's because the anesthesia probably is still inside of me. But we'll get through this. is. At this point, motion to approve the December 27th, 2023 minutes. Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. You get two, are you gonna abstain?
We're gonna.
Yeah, with 2 abstentions. I'm assuming the same for the 20.
Yes, correct.
Do we have a motion to approve December 29th special meeting minutes? Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Last one is a motion to approve the January 1st, 2024 organizational minutes. Motion made, I will second it. Or do you guys, what do you want to second?
I can say.
Seconded by Haley. All in favor? Aye.
I was abstaining.
You're gonna abstain, you were absent, that's right. Alright, so we had 4 ayes and Daniel abstained for the first. I wanna say thank you for the great work, by the way, putting together, they were within a week, 3 meetings within a week, putting the minutes together, so thank you. We helped you out though, spacing out this meeting for you. We'll move the town engineer's report. Jason, the floor is yours, sir.
Good evening. I'd like to request the board authorize CNS companies to advertise the new community center project for bids on January 30th, 2024.
Denise, that sounded pretty good.
It's great.
That sounded good. It made me jump up there.
Bids will be received and publicly opened at 2 p.m. on Friday the 29th, or February 29th, 2024 in the town clerk's office.
Well, mezzanine.
Mezzanine.
Mezzanine is where the bids will be open.
So I just, there's a couple questions on that. So I didn't see the RFP in here, and I haven't seen like the finalized,
Yeah, so it won't go out to the street, he said January 30th.
okay,
So,
so that's an RFP and all
all of the bid, well, it's a bid, so it's all the bid documents.
So the finalized drawings and documents and all that stuff, that I'm assuming that is from this, or, 'cause I'm just saying, my thing has been since day one with this, is that when we finally had all that kind of put together before going out to RFP, was doing an additional, week of public outreach to say, hey, this is what we're doing, is there anything that we might have missed, just to kind of take a little recap and do that. So that was my original stance on that before putting it out to RFP.
So it's been on our website since November.
Everything is finalized, all the finalized stuff's on.
Right, like the design and stuff. They've been working on a lot of, like, lately we've been,
The in-wall stuff.
yeah,
The mechanicals, the electricals, the water and plumbing sewer stuff is what they're finalizing now.
security, pretty much the guts of it.
Got it.
Stuff way above my imagination. And with this schedule, as he said, it would hit the street January 30th, bid opening would be February 29th, this board would vote on it March 14th. That'd be the meeting, March 11th. So the board would vote on it on March 11th, which then would allow us to break ground hopefully in April if the weather permits. Any other questions?
I will make the motion.
Cool. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Clerk, please call roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes.
I also like to request the board authorize the purchase of a new inflow and flow meter to the landfill pretreatment plant. This equipment is necessary for the proper operation of the pretreatment plant. The total cost of equipment is $10,382. The current flow meter has failed. And this new flow meter that they've requested matches the effluent, so we'll have the same data coming in, going out. So everything syncs up, easier for the people we hired to run the plant for us.
Always something new with this.
Any questions? Do we have a motion? Motion made by David. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, clerk, please call roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Farrell?
Yes.
Seems like 10 years is about the lifespan of this stuff, the pretreatment plant. We put a lot of money into it last year.
All set?
Almost.
Town attorney, show's yours.
Alright, so to shift away from using the landfill as a filtration site, I have the opportunity to present you with your first, the new board members, with your first local law for your consideration. The local law that you actually have before you creates what's called a planned unit district over the Lake Creek landfill site so that we can move forward with a possible solar project on the site. We need to change the zoning to allow for it. Currently, under our current zoning, we actually don't allow any sort of solar facilities Salina. So this would allow solar facilities for this site in particular. We do need to, before we pass, we actually did have a public hearing on this last year on December 27th. So we are now in a position to be able to adopt the local law. We do need to do a state environmental quality review act.
That's a
review
secret.
of this. A secret determination. So the board may make a motion at this time to designate the action as a type 1 action and also designate the town board as lead agency for state environmental quality review act purposes. So anyone is free to do that at this time.
Do we have a motion? Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Joe?
All right, I'm gonna go through a series of questions. If I don't hear an answer to the question, I'll assume the answer is no or small impact. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? Will the proposed action result in a change in use or intensity of use of land? Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and fail to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? Will the proposed action impact public, private water supplies, public, private wastewater treatment utilities? Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources? Examples, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna? Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? Based on the answers provided, does anyone at this time want to make a finding of no significant impact for purposes of state environmental quality review?
Do we have a motion? Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Jones?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Carroll?
Yes.
You are now free to vote on the resolution that we had before you, which creates the planned unit development district and would allow for a solar facility to be placed on the Lake Green landfill site.
Any questions or comments?
Here's one thing, so the county came back and they had some comments on the wetlands and different things like that. But then they said there was really nothing.
Yeah, so the county came back and basically said no countywide impacts affected. There may be some wetlands nearby. This is the first step of the process. This will have to go through site plan review, so I believe any of the wetland issues that may be there will be addressed during the
Yeah,
site
there's
plan
federal
process.
wetlands
Yep.
there too, so, okay, cool.
Any other questions or comments? This has been, anything? This has been a long process, but I think it's a rewarding one for the town of Salina. I think this is gonna be a great opportunity for us to turn a negative into a positive. I will give one word of caution, we are not past the finish line yet. So this is a large and very important step, but there are a few more things that need to get worked out administratively. So I'm excited though, I think this is gonna be great. And we've seen other towns do something similar. I will say this, the town of Salina is probably in the best position out of all the other towns that have put solar on their landfills for us to reap a reward much greater than they have. So I am very thrilled with it, fingers are crossed as we continue to move through it. Joe and I are gonna stay vigilant on this. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Jones?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Carroll?
Yes. Joe, I will just briefly talk on this one. This is to put out an RFP. This is a conversation that my planning and development director and I have had going back to probably right when I was beginning as supervisor, looking at a different piece of property, which is the green space here behind Town Hall, as a site for a new solar project to help Town Hall get off of the grid. We've done other improvements at Town Hall. We have a couple of vehicle charging stations. If New York State ever comes through, we got a grant for that, so we do have some vehicle charging stations that are coming to town hall, but also putting the solar field behind town hall will help us. Now that we have gotten to this point with the larger solar field at the landfill, I think it'd be prudent for us to put an RFP, a request for proposal, out on the streets to see some companies for a solar site on town hall.
I just where is it? Like,
So it's-
you say back, but I'm like
So-
wondering where back is.
So we are in the back of town hall now.
Thank you.
So it's to the left, if you go out this building here, there's a parking lot in the back. To the left, there's a playground right here. It's next to the playground, that entire green space as it goes down there. So what we would do is in the RFP, we kind of just give the general idea of where we're looking at. And then the companies would be, the ones with the expertise would say, this is how much, or how little, or how it would look, or if it's even feasible, and we get what their proposals are. And then this town board would be able to review the proposals and make a determination if it's something that we want to go for. So this is the other one is almost the finish line stuff. This is the very beginning stuff.
So, great idea, but have we looked at potential stuff on the roof?
That's why we're going that way.
Because of how it is up there.
So the answer is yes, we did.
That's
We
why
did.
we're going
So I
that
know
way.
we wouldn't be able to do solar because the house is up there, but can we do any kind of wind up there?
Wind?
Yeah,
No,
okay.
no.
Why not?
I just know we're up on a hill, you know, we get a lot of wind and stuff that comes through here.
It'd be better if we're on this site, rather than back one.
Got it. Okay. I was
But
curious.
yes, we looked at that.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Ciccarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Fair?
Yes. Town comptroller. Sorry, guys, I got confused there. Town comptroller, approve the budget modifications as listed on the agenda. I believe the only ones are closing out modifications for last year's budget, and there's only one modification for this year's budget, going off my memory right now, because I don't have the stuff in front of me. But I believe the ones for this one are we pay certain sewer and water bills to the county, for properties that we have, and that we didn't budget for that. We have a budget line that's supposed to come out of, and we didn't budget for it in that budget line, we put it somewhere else, so we just need to move it to that budget line. This is actually something that last year I was a little surprised about, because I thought we didn't pay taxes, but we looked into it, and it's water and sewer.
Make a motion.
Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Ciccarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Fair?
Yes, we do have two items on the rules of decorum. I'm willing to table one of them. Is that the intention? We wish to table A.
Yes.
Is A the one that omits 8? So we'll table, so we won't even consider A. We'll just talk to B. There is a proposed update to the rules of decorum for board meetings. I believe it's just one item in the rules of decorum. Item number 8, changing the language from speaker should that's not what it says.
You changed it to comments must be related to.
There it is.
town business.
Yes,
So-
instead of comments must be related to a town agenda item, it is comments must be related to legitimate town business. It does say at the very beginning here, the purpose of public comment period is to discuss town business only. I'm fine with it. My only point to that is, we did look at other towns, and I think most other towns do say a town agenda item. I think it's not a substantial thing, so it's completely okay by me. Any other comments?
I just had a question on number 6. So, any audio or visual or similar equipment to be used to support the comments or issues of the speaker must be approved by the supervisor at least 24 hours before the regular scheduled meeting.
So that would be if somebody's trying to do a presentation,
Okay.
yeah, that they can't just show up to a board meeting and potentially delay a board meeting to set up some visual or whatever. It's more or less so that way there isn't an interference during this.
Somebody came in and wanted to make us do a PowerPoint.
But could they do like a visual, like a diagram or something, bring in like a map or something if they were showing, or pictures?
They can. I don't think, for the public's sake, and for the board's sake, from my position as the town supervisor, it's my job under New York State law to preside over meetings. We are lenient, we are friendly, we are nice, we are not going to nitpick on things. I do think for the sake of, if somebody did come for something like they wanna do a PowerPoint, if they walked right up to the speakerphone and said, put up a PowerPoint, that would cause a delay.
I agree with you.
So, but if somebody had a poster board that they were able to put on a chair, and I think we've done this in the past, they put a poster board on the chair.
Yeah, but sometimes.
That wouldn't stop them from.
We'll have people come in that want a stop sign or something like that, they'll have pictures to give us.
Right.
Yeah, they actually have, many times.
Yep.
So, this, I think, is more protective than it is restrictive. Similar, I think, to, and again, I'm not nitpicking on it, but the town agenda versus the legitimate town business, I think there was a tremendous amount of deference to that over the last 2 years as well. So, I know there was.
I think it's important if somebody has a concern or something they wanna talk about, they can bring it to their town councilor, and their town councilor can then put it on the agenda.
And they do. And they,
Right, and then it's a little bit more structured by, discussing agenda items rather than, willy-nilly town business. I'm not saying it's not an importance, I'm just saying, discuss it with your counselor, have your counselor bring it to the, to the clerk, put it on the agenda, and then we can discuss it. I like the exchange, it's a good idea, it's,
and from my
more structured.
perspective, what I've noticed is a lot of people usually call town hall with an issue. In fact, most people call town hall with an issue. A lot of times it goes, when's the next town board meeting? I'm upset about X, Y, or Z. And we say, the next board meeting is whenever it is, well, what's your problem? Maybe we can solve it. And we do. That's why we don't often have public comments that talk about backyard drainage or other issues. Jason gets the calls all the time, so. But anyways, we do have the updated rules of decorum. That is the only change from an agenda item to quote legitimate town business. Do we have a motion on that? Motion made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
No.
Supervisor Curran?
Yes. Hey, I'm gonna let you speak to this one.
Oh, yeah, for the changing the town meeting, it's just, cause it's Passover, so just trying to be respectful.
We were agreeing on that, right? It's the first night Passover.
Okay, all right. It is not that's fine, we can do that. We can change any board meeting.
That's what you had said in
Yeah.
your organizational, so I just wanted to bring it
So,
up.
I'll make the point that it is not a paid holiday for town hall.
Exactly.
So
It's
town
just-
hall is still open. I just wanna make sure, town hall is still open, but we're gonna be changing the board meeting out of respect for that.
Thank you.
Yep. We have a motion.
Motion.
Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor
Because
Downs?
it's Passover.
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Curran?
Yes. Item 12 is to appoint Nina Hummel to the position of town comptroller at an annual salary of $50,000 a year. Nina currently works in the comptroller's office, and her salary is $50,000 currently. So this is not a change in her salary. This is strictly just a change in her title. Any comments? I will make the motion.
Second.
Seconded. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Curran?
Yes. Oversight from our organizational meeting is number 13. We never
Mr.
designated.
Supervisor,
Yeah.
should we put a term on that?
It is by state law a 2-year term.
Okay. all right.
It is by state law a 2-year term. So it will expire by December 31st of 2020. What is this? Thank you, appreciate it. Item 13 is, we missed designating the star review for Russ Tarby, I'm sorry Russ, as the second official newspaper for the town of Salina for the year 2024. Do we have a motion? Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded, clerk please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Thor?
Yes, cleanup orders as listed on the agenda, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second? Do you
Second.
have comments? Do you have questions regarding cleanup orders? Pretty much, we have a contract with the company, their job is to go to clean up when there are code violations at specific homes. These are homes.
Like lawn, high.
Yeah, they'll go, yeah, and then that, so, this is just allowing us to go do that, okay?
The list is short.
These are actually like cleanup debris, not mowing lawns.
Right. So, we do have a motion in a second, so the clerk can call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
Yes.
Supervisor Thor?
Yes. Item 15 is the supervisor's report. We don't vote on that. That's just provided and it's here for the public, for them. But it's just a review of the budget to date, this year's budget to date. So it's just for you guys to have. You guys can review it. There's nothing to vote on. There is one item on the supplemental agenda. Do I have a motion to place the supplemental agenda on the regular board agenda? Okay, all right, we have a motion. I don't, for the new board members, I don't usually like to make motions. Most things that are on the agenda are things that I've worked on for the last couple weeks. So I like to let you guys make the motions or seconds, so that way that there's just greater participation. So we do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
One opposed. Okay, that was your motion, right? All right, the item on the supplemental agenda is to transfer $42,781 from the comptroller's salary and wages line to the supervisor's office expense line with the intent of, and I'm saying this for the record, for your sake, with the intent of using that money, using some of that money to purchase video equipment. What's it called?
Tell me, what's it called?
An
Begins with an O.
No. So, unless there's something better, maybe there's
I
something
will
new
look,
coming up.
but I actually, can I just speak for a second?
Yeah, of course.
I actually have two people that are willing to loan it to us to see if we like it before we buy it, so.
Perfect. And we have funds, if this gets passed, there'll be funds for us to do it. The only reason it's going into the supervisor's office expense line is because there is no real budget line that we have that exists. This is kind of the best one for us to be able to purchase it out of, if that is what we do, okay? Any other comments, questions? Do we have a motion?
Second.
Yes. Second, clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Downs?
Aye.
Counselor Paul?
Yes.
Counselor Cicarelli?
Yes.
Counselor Carney?
No.
Supervisor Thor?
Yes. We have a motion to adjourn. Motion made, do we have a second? All in favor? Thank you, folks. The year's started. Do I need to write? I do. Yeah, I do. I got it. Good. That's slow. How do you that right now?
Not 5 hours, only an hour.
Well, usually it was 30 minutes.